Hey, oh, hey, it's Tuesday, and that means it's time for our tiny but mighty challenges. And I am so excited to get this kicked off as this will be the first one of November. So, we had several that were very close to being finished last week. In fact, they're still kind of spooky themed. So, I'm hoping that this week the dice will be nice to us and let us finish at least some of them, if not all of them. So, we'll just have to tune in to see what happens. All right. So, we'll see you in just Hey, happy Tuesday. All right. I know that last week we were very, very close. I don't remember specifically, but we were very close to finishing several challenges. And as November is officially here, and I'm excited to get into the rest of the fall and into the Christmas season, and I have a lot of really cute challenges to share with you. I wanted to hopefully get as many of these finished as possible. So we'll just have to see how it goes because the dice is in control. So I'm going to set the money aside for just a second and let's get reacquainted with the challenges that we are currently working on. Okay, so how's your Tuesday going? I hope it's going great, or did go great. As you know, I film these so I'm actually in the middle of the weekend. So I really don't know how my Tuesday is going, but I'm sure it's going great. And getting to film this for you guys always makes my weekend brighter. So hopefully getting to watch it makes yours brighter. Okay, so let's see what we can do. We have this set. This one's mine. This was from my 100 subscriber freebies. We have several still to go on this one for $1 per circle. Gosh, can't talk today. All right. In spot number 2 this week from GNL Budgeting Besties, we have almost completed this adorable set of her tinies. It looks like we only need $2. Maybe the dice will be nice to us. In spot number 3, we have a set from Financial Jeans with Christine. We have almost completed this as well at $3 lacking. So we'll see how that goes. And in spot number 4 are Witch and Ghosts from Sarah Saves 07. We just need $4 for that one. In spot number 5, Norellis Budgets. We are just lacking $4 for this one as well. This is going to be an exciting Tiny Tuesdays. And then finally in spot number 6, it looks like we just need $4 for BZ's Things. So the next question is, how much do we have this week? So last week we had a little bit less than normal. This week we have, let me get our buyback 5s out of the way here. This week we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. But it was a good week, and it was also my paycheck week, so I was able to add an additional $10. So we have a total of $30 with 2 spicy 5s being mixed in. So that's exciting, and maybe that will mean well for finishing up some of these challenges. All right, so if this is your first time watching Tinies, it's very similar to our Monday minis in the fact that we let the dice tell us which spot is going to get the bills. The difference is that I am going to, I didn't mix this one in, I'm going to do 1 bill per spot, okay? So we will roll the dice. It'll tell us who's going to get the first one. It's number 6, so BZ Sings. And number 4, and off we go. So yeah, hoping your Tuesday is going great, or did go great whenever you're watching this. I can tell you it's weekend for me. It's very gloomy, and we are supposed to get a ton of rain. So there's one of our spicy 5s. So I'm hoping that's the way it goes. I think we do need some rain here where we live. So not to be boring and talk about the weather, but it's hard for me to talk about my Tuesday when I haven't hit my Tuesday yet. I can tell you last Tuesday, in fact, my whole week last week was just crazy. Okay, we have gotten no love for spot number 1. And it's the one, and it got a spicy 5. See, I think the dice is listening to me. What do you think? Am I lucky, or do I have some kind of power? So I can tell you that work has just been nuts. Just nuts. And nuts in a good way, but just nuts. And I come home at the end of every day, and I just hardly have anything left. Not to complain, but I'm so glad I get to film these in advance, because I don't know that I would have it in me to film during the week, and also take care of the kiddos and whatnot. So I hope your week is going well, even if it's busy. We have a lot of really good and lofty goals for November. Now, I haven't sat down and formally written out my goals for November. I always like to share those with you guys. So I do plan to do that, but I just need to find some free time to get that done. But of course, with Christmas coming and just, finishing up the year and things I want to do for 2025, I've got a lot of things. So, I'm hoping between that and all the additional income that my husband's likely to make this time of year. It's just his time of year is it's just his busiest time, so paychecks are larger and he's gone a lot more, and that's sad. But this will be our first opportunity to be just a little more intentional with our spending than in years past. So I'm excited to see how all of this is going to impact that positively, and I'm happy to share that with all of y'all. One more thing before I get started on this. We do still have sort of the Halloween theme thing going on here, and I do, much with my other, if you saw my weekly challenges, I want to get these wrapped up if at all possible. So we're going to have the same rule as we did last week. If we are lacking on one but have extra on another, before I pull a new challenge in, I will use the extra money to finish off any of these, which is not normally how we do it. But I think in order to kind of easily shift over to our new themes, I think I'm okay with that. So hey, it's my challenge, so it's my rules, right? And I think it's going to be a perfect example here, because it looks like we got 1, 2, and 3, which is only going to allow us to cross off all but one. So we're going to go ahead and do that, because we don't know how the rest of the dice worked for us. We're going to check to see, if we have any buyback 5s, which we do. Right there. So far we have a total of 11 and we need 12. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to hope that we have at least $1 left over from another challenge that we can finish this one off. So we will set that aside and see how it works out. Okay, up next is Norella's budgets. Well, there we go. We just needed 4 to finish this adorable set out. We've already finished that card, and we've got a total of 8. So we are going to have $4 left over from that one. So first I need to do some math when my brain is not mathing. I think what I need to do, take this 5 back so that I have, that's what I need to do. So I'm going to have $4 here for this, and then I'm going to set this $4 aside so that we can complete this one out. And I'm probably going to end up getting another buyback 5 out of it. Yep, sure am. Funny how that works. So now we have a total of $12 for Norella's budgets, which is how much we should have in total. I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring in these last 4, and then we will ring our bell for our first completed challenge of the week, at least in our tiny category. So if you watched my Saturday savings or any of my bonus videos, you might have seen some other challenges finished, but this is our very first tinies to be finished. And I think we didn't finish any last week, if I remember correctly. So it's been a long, hard road to be patient. Okay, so $12 for Norella's budgets. We're going to go ahead and put this here. We're going to get a paper clip. And I'm going to write on here how much it is. Easier to add up at the end of the month. And on that note, this will go in with our November savings challenges, even though it is spooky October themed. We did that as well with our other October challenges. It's just that it's been finished in the month of October. So $12 going there. We need our bell. Yay! Okay, our first finished challenge. And with that, I'm going to be able to bring in our second here. Come back to BZ's things. We need just $1 to finish this out. And now we have $12 that we needed for this one and another completed challenge. So normally I would not do it that way. I would just start another challenge in that envelope, but I want to see how it all works out and make sure that we finish these off as soon as possible. For instance, in the next one, we had one for Sarah Saves 07. She only got $1 and we needed 4. And look at that, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So with that, we're able to finish out this one as well. So I'm going to color in our cute little ghost really quick. I will fast forward. All right, so we have a total, or we should have a total of $9 if we did this correctly. So let's go ahead and count and see what we have. Sure enough, $5 in the envelope, 4 ones, makes $9 for another completed challenge. So what that means is we're going to have 3 empty envelopes. And before we end the video today, I'm going to be able to pick some to replace that for next week, for sure. Okay, ringing that bell again. All right, up next, we have Financial Dreams with Christine. We have finished 2 of the 3 cards and we only need $3. So 1, 2, and 3. We'll set this other 4 aside and I will be able to color in these circles really quick. Instead of fast forwarding, I think I will just chat with you. So there's one other thing that's been on my mind of possibly creating, and I kind of wanted to put it out there before. I think I'm going to create it, even if it's just something I enjoy and no one else does. But I always like to share these things with you, and you can tell me down in the comments what you think. Would it be something you'd be interested in? So I'll get on the box challenges. I like that style. I love these minis as well. They're kind of my favorites. I love scratch offs. I like it all. But I really like the box challenges, the themed sets of challenges that help you save the larger amounts. And it feels sort of like a game. Not that all of these things don't, but anywho, I like the box challenges. And I did work recently. I've been working for a while on a box challenge themed around camping, so that should be released very soon. But another one that has recently come to mind, I've been reading these books. I have not in a long time had time to read for pleasure, and I've kind of made it a point to do that now because I kind of had forgotten how much I loved it. So at bedtime, I've been reading, and I got a recommendation for a set of books. And if you've read these books, you're going to giggle or you're going to say, where have you been all this time? Because I am so late to the game. But if you know, you know the ACOTAR. A Court of Thorns and Roses, and all the accompanying books for that. Very, very, very good books if you like fantasy and a little bit of romance and all of that, but it's got wonderful characters, wonderful plots. So if you haven't heard of it because you were living under the rock like me, check it out if that's your thing. They are very popular. And now I know why. So I am still finishing up the last book currently in the series, and I'm enjoying it a great deal. And I just love the characters so much. And I am thinking about creating a box challenge with a theme that kind of goes along with ACOTAR and the characters that are in that. So again, even if it's not something others would be interested in, I'm thinking I would enjoy it. And ultimately, I like to create things that I would enjoy. Not to be selfish, but that's the point, is to reach your goals and being motivated to do that. So anywho, I've been thinking about it, and I'm very, very close to kind of not tying down whether I want to do that or not. But let me know down below, would that be something you'd be interested in? ACOTAR box challenge. Okay, or even individual challenges as well. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, and $18 for our Financial Dreams with Christine, and we have finished this one up. So that's exciting. Yeah, the ACOTAR series, if you just, want to go back to the book recommendation, I'm sad that I waited so long to find out about them, but I'm so glad I did. But what's been funny about it is people, when you least expect it, I'd be out reading it, like sitting on the porch reading a little bit while I was handing out candy to trick or treaters, and several moms would say, "Oh, I love those books," and I kind of giggle. I'm like, "Oh, she knows what I'm reading." Um, and then, okay, cool. So I felt a little bit of a connection there with someone. And then I even had a funny instance where one of the trick or treaters, and he was wearing a mask. I don't know who he was or how old he was, but he seemed about my older son's age, 13 or 14. And he asked me what I was reading. And I was like, oh, it's a book about fairies, and it's really good. He goes, what's the title? And I was, I didn't want to tell him what the title was because I was a little bit like, oh no, he's gonna know what I'm reading. And he finally got me to tell him the title, and then he literally turned around and started screaming across the he started screaming across the street, "Hey mom, she's reading the books you like so much." So I don't even know who that poor mom was. But I definitely blushed and kind of giggled about it. But so they're around, they've been around, and I'm late to the game on that. All right, now I kind of gotten myself embarrassed again thinking about that. And just if you don't know what the books are, don't think that I'm just reading trash. They're not, but they do have some spicy things in them, so fair warning. But they are fun. If you know, you know. All right, so let me get back to what I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay, so GNL budgeting besties, we have $5. We only needed two. So we're going to take the two that we need here. We're going to cross off the last two candy corns, and we're going to set this aside in our little bank over here. And we'll see what we have in the envelope, find out our total saved. All right, so we have a total of $12 for this set. And moving on. $12. Let's ring the bell. Yay! Another finished challenge, another empty envelope, and a little bit extra, which we might need for the last one. Okay, so for the last one, this is my set of freebies. We finished one card, and we've got several to go at $1 a piece. It looks like we got $6, so we can already do this. Let's go ahead and do that first and leave a little suspense for what might happen for the rest. Okay, so I'm going to color in the 6 circles that we did get. So I know some of you here on in this community are big book readers, and I used to consider myself one, and maybe I'm getting back to that because it is something that brings me joy, and it's nice to carve out time for yourself in that way. So like I said, I've kind of been out of it. I'm behind on what's out there and what recommendations are out there. So I am open to any recommendations that you might have. I don't have a specific type. I like a little bit of everything. Have not previously been big into fantasy, like I'm reading now, but I'm kind of enjoying that as well. So who knows? Maybe that's what I'm. But what are you guys reading? If you want to share any recommendations with me, I would love to hear those, because I'm gonna have to have something to turn to when I finish the books I'm reading now. Okay, so what do we need? And I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to quite hit it, but that's okay. We can do $3 here to finish this card, and then we will have 4 of the 6 that we need for this card. So we will only have 2 left, and that's okay. That's okay. We did pretty darn good considering how much we had to go on these. And if you haven't checked out my freebies yet, this was just one of the sets that I offered because of the time it came out, and it was coming towards the end of spooky season. I wanted to make sure that I also give an option for the following holidays to use those as well. So if you want to check it out, I will link it down below, just my Google Drive link. And so far, it's the only freebie that I've released, unless we got to 200 subscribers since I filmed this, because I do have my 200 subscriber freebie ready to go. But we were very close, and we just hadn't quite hit it, at least not at the point of filming this video. So But if you know, I know Halloween's over, so if that's not what you're after, there are a couple of options for other themes that I released when I did that one. So check it out if you're interested. Okay, so let's see what we have. Another buyback 5. All right, so far and almost wrapping up our tiny set from myself: 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, and 22. So $22 so far. It looks like we'll have a total of 24 when and if the dice are nice to us next week. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. That means that we did finish 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 finished challenges. And I am going to get out my ding 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 challenge because I definitely want to make sure we continue doing that. I remembered that I didn't do it in the previous videos where I did save some challenges or finish some challenges, so I will make sure I add the appropriate amount to that. So don't worry if you're watching and you notice that I didn't do it. I will make up for it. I will put it in there, okay? So we have 5 ones going into our Ding 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 challenge. If you don't know what this is, a freebie by Donna, powered by creativity. Many of the creators here in our community are using it as an additional savings. We save $1 for every finished challenge, and when we ring the bell, and I am going to continue saving in this until the end of the year to see how much additional savings you'll get. So that's going to be exciting. All right, and as I promised, this is going to go into the Save to Sync folder. And before I mix these up, I need to, oh, sorry for the bump. I need to make sure I remember how many I saved that I didn't put in the ding, ding, ding. This was from earlier in the week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to add an additional $6 to our ding, ding challenge and add these in. So we are now moving right along on the Save to Sync. And let me go ahead and add our additional $6. You saw it here. You'll know that I did what I was supposed to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 additional dollars being saved in the Ding 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 challenge. And again, this will come from our Saturday savings that I just failed to do it on camera. Okay, so there we go. Now we have 1 still to go with 2, and that means we have 5 envelopes that we need to fill with new challenges. And I have some ready to go right here. I'm going to move our bell out of the way. And let's see what we got. All right, so the question is, do we want to do all fall? Do we want to do a little bit of both? I'm thinking we'll do a little bit of both. All right, so I've got, oh my gosh, love these from Windmill Ridge. I just need to pick because we don't want to do the whole set probably, but I am so in love with gingerbread and the whole cookies thing. And we'll probably use rest of her set as well. And it looks like it is, let's do these 4 for this time around. So this comes from Windmill Ridge Budgets. And the set is just adorable. As you can see, we'll do $1 per icon, and this will be one that just takes us a little longer. But I'm excited to get started on that. So our first new one will be a Christmas theme. All right, let's see what else we got in here. How about something fall? All right, so we have this one from My Modern Homestead. We got pumpkin spice and everything nice. Hello Fall with the books, since we were talking about books. And then how about fall vibes with some campfire and sweaters and pumpkins and warm coffee. Looks great. Okay, so My Modern Homestead, again, the set that I found has several more, but I'm just trying to keep it where we can complete them in a good amount of time so I can share with you. All right, so up next, how about we put one in from All right, we'll do. I have so many, it's hard to even keep them straight. We have this set from Frugality is Life, so Christmas themed. Let's go with the cookies and all these adorable reindeers, and let's do the candy canes. Again, I'll probably end up using these again, hopefully, just not all at once. Okay, so this is Frugality is Life, Christmas. All right, and let's see what else we got in my envelope of goodies here. Let's see. Elaine Realized has a set that I found with a couple of different options. Let's see. Let's go with the delicious, let's say hot cocoa. Here's some candy and the Christmas tree. We will start there for Elaine Realized. All right. And then in our last envelope, I'll have to find some more of my fall ones. I know I have more fall ones, but I must not got them all in here. I'm still trying to gather them all up. I have this set from Becca Budget 777, and if we remember from her Halloween themed ones, these take a little bit longer because they have quite a bit of circles. So I think for this one, I will just do one for now. And this is a very angry cat tangled in Christmas lights, and it says, "This is as jolly as I get." And I love it. It makes me kind of giggle. All right, so we will have those as our sets for next week. And hopefully we will finish up our remaining one little spooky season one next week. But we will put these back in their binder to wait patiently for our next Tiny Tuesdays. All right. Okay, with that, we can wrap up Tiny Bit Mighty Tuesdays. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a comment and a like. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing because we'd love to have you join us on this journey. We've got a lot of fun things planned for the next few months, so I hope to see you back. But until then, I hope y'all just hang in there and have a great week. Bye.